All right, day 3, my friends. Welcome back to the Helwani Show, ESPN, MMA, Instagram, live stream, takeover. It's Wednesday, March 18th. Who's having fun out there? Hope you're all doing well. I hope you're remaining positive. I hope that you are staying at home, not going into the wild, touching people, social distancing, quarantining. I have a take on all this quarantining, social distancing thing, which I'll talk about later on. And we'll also be doing a podcast later today with New York Rick and Mark Ramundi. That will be up on the podcast feed. I will also be doing an Ariel and the Bad Guy, which will probably be up Thursday or Friday with Chael P. So don't worry, have no fear. It is our duty and our mission to continue to provide you guys content. Again, I'm at home. I've been doing this all week long. Had a fun show Monday. Had a fun show Tuesday. My plan is to do this every single day, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Give you guys something to look forward to. Give you guys something to think about, something to get your mind off of things. Not going to talk too much about the news and things like that. You could get enough of that in other places. And I don't know if this is the right thing to do or not, but I've been taking a bit of a break from the news because it has been affecting my mental health. Speaking of my head, any barbers out there that can help me out? I usually get a haircut every Tuesday, but I might have to go into business for myself here because it's getting a little long, if you know what I'm saying. In any event, I'm just trying to give you guys something else to think about. So today, on the quote-unquote program. And by the way, I've noticed a lot of other people doing these live chats, and it's okay. You don't have to credit me. You don't have to give me props, but I know who did it first, and you know who did it first as well. It's been great seeing all the people pop in. It's been great seeing everyone enjoy this. I appreciate all the feedback. I appreciate everyone who has been supportive and positive throughout this, and we're going to keep these going, all right? We're going to keep these going. So today we're going to talk to Tyron Woodley. Of course, he's had a very busy week. He's going to be joining me in a matter of moments. We'll also talk to Chris Weidman, who has a really crazy connection to the past week's events. He was at the Oklahoma City Utah Jazz game. He was there on Wednesday of last week, a week ago tonight, he was there. And he was there to promote his May 2nd fight against Jack Hermanson. Of course, that event got canceled. That game got canceled once they found out that Rudy Gobert tested positive for the coronavirus. And that was really the beginning of the ripple effect. Of course, it started long before that. But here in the United States, it really did feel like it started before that. So we'll talk to Chris Weidman about that. And, maybe answer some questions, and who knows who else will pop by. Who knows who else will make a surprise appearance here. Going to do this tomorrow, like I said. Going to do this Friday as well. We've had some surprise appearances over the last couple of days. CM Punk, Action Bronson. Who else? Yesterday we had Owen Roddy, Michael Chiesa, Meatball McCann, Meatball Molly. So it's been fun seeing the fighters pop in, the notable people pop in, and we've been adding them as we go. But I like to have at least one or two guests solidified because that's the way I like to do it. I like to book guests. I like to do shows for all of you. So Tyron Woodley, if you are around, unless you're hiding from me, drop me a message, and then we will add you to the program. It's good to see all these people. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the nice comments. I've also been toying with the idea of getting rid of the comments because some of you are a little bit weird. Like, can we try to keep it somewhat civil? I look down because I try to see if people are there and interacting, and especially the guests that we want to be on. I have to add them. I have to press on a little thing to add them. But, sometimes it gets a little, like, why all the negativity sometimes, like the trolling and things of that nature? Why are you doing this? By the way, I'm in my home office here. It's kind of a makeshift office. It's more like an empty bedroom. One of my favorite things in my office, is this. This is a ticket from the very first Montreal Expos game. Can you see that? Can you see that right there? What's this date? April of 1969. How about that? Pretty incredible, right? That's one of my prized possessions. Maybe one of these days I'll give you guys a little tour. If Mr. Woodley is not there for whatever reason, maybe our producers in the back can call upon Mr. Weidman and we could do the old switcheroo. Just like on the Helwani show on Mondays, sometimes people don't show up, or sometimes these things happen in MMA. So I give you guys the carte blanche. Tessa and New York Rick, they were very mad at me yesterday that I didn't give them the proper shout-outs. They run this ESPN MMA page. Tessa Hirsch, Travels with Tessa is her IG handle. New York Rick, you know him very well. They're the brains behind this page. They have built this page up over the past year and a half or so, and it's pretty incredible to see what they've done. And I failed to give them the proper shout out yesterday. So they were very mad at me. They lambasted me. They were very upset that I was not giving them the proper credit. And so, Tyron Woodley, what's going on? Tyron Woodley just texted me. Now, if I go out of the chat, okay, if I go out of the chat, he's texting me right now, but if I go out of the chat, it's going to ruin the chat, right? So, oh, here we go. Here's Tyron. All right, here we go. We're going to connect with Mr. There he is, Tyron Woodley. I thought you were going to stand me up, Tyron. I was getting worried. How you doing, my man?
I was wrapping, today is my daughter's birthday, so I was wrapping up her little gifts, and I got OCD, so it took me a little longer.
Wow, you did that all yourself? Oh, connection may be problematic. Tyron, you still there?
Yeah. I said I'm super OCD with rapping. There's not very many people that can rap better than me. Christmas gifts, anything.
Yo, respect. Not only are you a good rapper of gifts, you're a good rapper as well, right? Spitting them bars.
You got to, man. You got to be able to do everything. Rapping is just art.
It.
I had a lot of shit to talk about, so.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so tell us. It's been a very stressful week for you. How are you dealing with it all now on this Wednesday? Have you come down from it all, or are you still a little worked up over not being able to fight this weekend?
What I did was I had a day to kind of put things in perspective, because at the end of the day, I'm really blessed, and I'm blessed not to only be able to have my health, but I was not going to be here for my daughter's birthday today. I was going to be in London. So it was kind of a little sad moment, but I was like, you know what? Let me just take the bitter with the sweet. The positives I can take away is my coaches and my camp got everything from me this time. Like, they didn't have no distractions. They didn't have nothing else. They got everything out of me, whether it was nutrition, proper sleep, flood my body with water, rehab, and just coming in there mentally present and just ready to take people out. That's what they got. And I'm excited about that. And that's the victory I can take away from it. I was ready. I was ready to put on the show. I was so excited to show all the fans all the hard work I've been doing, and to show everybody I'm still the best welterweight of all time. I'm still the greatest welterweight. I'm the best welterweight right now, and I was going to go out there and put on a performance against Leon Edwards to show it. I was still prepared. I was still prepared to go out to London. I flew into L.A. I was supposed to fly out at 7 o'clock on Sunday. I found out Sunday that, okay, we're not going to fly you in. We're going to actually take you. We're going to take the flight to the U.S. I'm like, cool. I was a trooper. I was in it for the whole time. And that's normally not my shit. I'm a guy that likes to study for a fighter. I prepare. I break down film. I get ready to go. And at the end of the day, that's the way I do. I calculate. I'm a strategist. And that's what way my team does it. But I said, all right, well, fuck it. Yeah, I want to fight still. Leon's not willing to come over to the U.S. for whatever reason. I didn't hear all the stuff behind that. So I said, cool. So they said, give me a list of guys you want to fight. I'm like, well, fuck, I don't have a list of guys I want to fight. Like, I'm the guy, motherfucker, and I've been training to fight this guy. So I heard Kobe had put his name out, which is all cap. Like, he is such a social media Cinderella. He literally put his name out there just for the attention, and he asked for some astronomical amount of money that, okay, I'll fight Tyron for $19 million. Of course they're going to say no, duh. So now you can go on record and say I said I would fight this on the UFC. So he did that on purpose to put on UFC. So I don't watch social media when I'm in fight week. I don't watch none of this shit. You know, I don't pay attention to what everybody's saying. I'm just trying to stay focused because at the end of the day, it's fun and it's news for you guys, but I still got to fight. Like, somebody's going to try to hurt me. I'm trying to hurt somebody else. So at the end of the day, I got to stay focused. And usually that's a week where I'm really shut off to the world. But I couldn't be because I had to figure out what the fuck am I going to do? Who am I going to fight? Da-da-da-da. So long story short, Dana called me and he was like, man, I need to know if you're going to take this fight or not. And at this time, I'm thinking a Kobe fight's on the table. So I'm like, shit, is Kobe going to fight or not? Even, like, fans, I need to bring you guys up to speed. Kobe Covington has turned me down 4 times. Don't believe the hype. If you do the math, from the time that I was a champion, he got an interim title opportunity against RDA, and I had only been out injured for 7 months, not even a full year. It would be a natural progression for me to fight him next. How did I fight Darren Till? How did I fight Kamaru Usman before I fought Kobe Covington? And finally, Dana came out, about a few months ago and said, oh, yeah, Kobe's turned down all these fights. He finally announced the fact that Kobe's turned me down so many times. This time was no different. The second I heard that he fucking wanted to fight, I'm like, all right, let's do it. I didn't even ask for more money, which I should have. I said, let's get it on. You've been talking all that shit. Now, I don't care about him. Oh, he didn't have a proper notice. When they asked me to fight him on 3 weeks' notice, with my CMC joint ripped and my thumb hanging off my arm, I didn't get notice on the fight, and I was prepared to take it. And I started thinking about the math. Like, could I look in the mirror and lost to Kobe Covington? Fuck no, man. I need a whole camp for this. So then Dana was like, okay, we want you to fight Gilbert Burns. And I'm like, all right, you want me to fight Gilbert Burns? He's 5'2", orthodox, jiu-jitsu world champion striker, and I was scheduled to fight a southpaw 6'2" striker. So give me a couple hours to think about this. I need to talk to my team. So I talked to Dean, talked to the guys, and they said, man, how do you feel? I said, well, fuck, man, I've trained. I put a lot of time, energy. I'm in shape. I want to fight bad. And they said, man, we got your back no matter what. I text Dana, and I said, hey, I'm in for the fight. Now, you have to throw a little extra cheese on my macaroni because not a lot of people know him. He had a great fight. Shout out to him for what he did against Damian Maia. But he wasn't the guy that was in the picture, before Saturday. You know what I mean? Even after Saturday, Damian Maia said that, hey, I'm done after one more fight. It's not like he's the driven Maia that was coming after me or was going after Anderson Silva. He's in a whole different part of his career. That takes nothing away from, you landing a left hook. But at the end of the day, I'm the guy still in the division. No matter what corny talk, no matter what hoopla, when you really think about it, I'm still the guy. I'm the one with all the title defenses. I'm the one that took out Robbie Lawler when he was a fighter of the year. Not the Robbie that RDA and Kobe fought. You know what I mean? I'm the first one to put fucking Till on his back and start beating his head in with elbows. Before Masvidal, before all these guys. So at the end of the day, I was willing to fight. At that time, that's when Dana kind of told me that the fight was off. And I'm like, hold on, dude, what the fuck happened? And he was like, no, the fight's completely off. It has nothing to do with your fight. It has nothing to do with anything. It has something to do with the announcement that the president's made. So long-winded way of saying that I'm trying to take the bitter with the sweet. And the bitter part is obviously I was trained, I was prepared. I was prepared not only to go to London throughout this mess, I was prepared to fight. I didn't know where I was going to fight. They didn't tell me where. They said Indian reservation. Well, shit, we could have been in fucking Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, anywhere. And I was willing to fight any place. So I just hope that's remembered. I just hope that's reflected to the fans that I trained to fight. I was coming to fight. I fucking was so ready to fight, man. Like you have no clue. I was so, anytime you hear me quiet, it's because I'm cooking. I didn't talk no shit. I blocked out everybody, and all I was doing was 2 and 3 times a day, putting my body through hell. And then, I was ready, my man. And what can I do?
Yeah, a very unfortunate situation. So I want to clear up a couple of things. Contrary to what has been said, you did not turn down Gilbert Burns. Is that accurate?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I accepted the fight against Gilbert Burns, but I only accepted it for that fucking Saturday. I didn't accept to fight him over the other fights that I was wanting to fight. I mean, obviously Kobe Covington is someone that's number 2. I'm number 1. He just fought for, the title. He's been talking a lot of stuff, and he needs to get this, so he would be number 1 on my list. After that, it would probably be, if they think about putting a Leon Edwards fight together. But, of course Gilbert Burns want to fight me. Of course he wants to. This is his chance, man. He was ranked, right outside the top 10.
You
He
see
got
him
a
in the
big win
comments?
against,
He's blowing up the comments there.
yeah,
You see him?
Smoke
He
up
wants
his ass
he's
and his own ass. Yeah.
okay, well let me ask you about Leon though.
I don't
Can I ask you
You
about
said what?
Leon? Why not just run back the Leon fight? That was a big fight, big opportunity, big stage.
The fight was Leon. The fight with Leon was only set up because Kobe wouldn't fight. He needed all this time. His jaw was broken. Remember, or he had to get wired shut. The second that fight was booked, he all of a sudden came out and said he was ready by April. You notice how that went? That's so mysterious. The only reason the Leon Edwards fight ever got booked is because Kobe wasn't ready to fight. And they didn't know when Kobe would be ready to fight, and I didn't want to wait. Because I originally said I wasn't going to fucking London to fight. Why? Fuck is Leon Edwards? Nobody know his ass. He's a good fighter. He's a great fighter. I gave him props every time. But look how corny everybody is. Like Gilbert Burns was just in the elevator saying what's up to me, out of the country. Now he's on the bottom. Let's go. You're supposed to do that because that's the model that everybody has portrayed, that that's how you get a fight. That's how you sell a fight. This is what you have to do. But what you guys don't realize is you look fucking dumb. You look stupid. You're doing what other people want you to do. I do what I want to do. I do what the thing I like about you is whether I win or lose, you got to report the news as news. You're one of the few journalists in the sport of mixed martial arts and in journalism in general that have not allowed what the standard of society do to change your integrity. You're going to say Tyron got knocked out, whether you like me or not. You're going to say Tyron won this fight, whether you like the opponent or not. And it's very hard and far in between that people that act like themselves and stay true to who they are. Our sport seen Chael Sonnen first, then it seen Conor McGregor, then Kobe Covington created this whole act. And if you're going to create an act, don't tell people it's an act. Hold on to it until you retire. Like, you openly telling people it's an act makes it even cornier. So you got everybody dressing the way that they think they're supposed to dress because you're supposed to wear this. Conor was wearing suits, let me wear a suit. This guy was talking trash, let me wear trash. This guy has a gimmick, let me get a gimmick. And it's so terrible that grown-ass men and women can't just be themselves these days. They got to be what they think somebody wants them to be. I'm me. I've been here. I ain't going nowhere. I was here before the rise of all the cornballs, and I'm going to be here afterwards. So I'm prepared. I talked to Dino today. Dean said, man, you were ready, man. And I was just so excited to go out there and just to show people again that we should have #1 squad. And he told me, when the shit settled down, I'm fly out to it. I told him I might come out to Florida. I might go back to Atlanta, but I'm going to keep training. I'm going to keep training. I'm going to keep my diet down, keep my weight down, keep mentally clear. There's no point. Like, what am I going to celebrate? Like, usually after a fight, I might fucking around and go eat some pizza and some wings or something. I didn't win a fight. I didn't fight. So what am I celebrating? So I'm going to take this time to stay training, stay healthy, spend some time with my kids, stay clear. For you people that think this corona shit is a joke, you're the ones that's going to help spread the shit out. Because I was in Thailand with a layover in Korea on my way back to LAX, and it was not a fucking game. And it was not anywhere remotely near as controlled and contained as the news is making it sound. Shit was crazy. People trying to get, tested for, their temperatures. They only had 1 or 2 people. 30, 40 people walking straight by you, coughing and sneezing, no mask on, sweating. And it was a fucking mess. So at the end of the day, thinking back to like just my family, what if I go out there and I contract this virus? I mean, it may not be the end of the world. Who knows? But if I come back home and I got a daughter and 4 sons and people I'm around that I exposed to this thing, or my mom, who's not 25 and fighting MMA. Like, that's what I got to think about. And also, I think God has a bigger plan. Like, sometimes we want to try to control the narrative, but we don't really control shit. Damn shit. UFC don't, I don't, you don't. We really don't control nothing. And that's why when these natural disasters happen and shit go down like this, it shows us how much out of control we are. Like, everybody knows so much about the fucking coronavirus all of a sudden. Like, I had an argument with somebody yesterday. They're going to try to sit here and tell me, oh, those aren't the symptoms. I said, when did you get your motherfucking medical degree? When? Because if everybody knew so much about this virus, then it wouldn't have spread as fast as it did.
Mm-hmm.
And if people keep playing games with it, we're going to see millions of people dead across the world.
And for you, Tyron, how are you keeping positive? Because I think that's a big thing for a lot of people. Like, you were just about to have a fight, you were about to release, and now you don't get that release. You haven't fought in a year, right? So you've been kind of sitting on what happened last March. How are you keeping positive? For me, I've tried not to look at the news as much, just take a little bit of break. I want to be informed, but I feel like it can overwhelm you. Is there anything that you could tell people about how you're keeping positive and just not thinking about this 24/7?
I got a haircut. That was
All right.
dope, man. Because I always get a haircut every week, and you know what? I try to stay fly. Underneath here, guys.
Oh, you're looking good.
Haircut. Shout out to my dude, Barber Matt.
I'm jealous.
That was something small to me. I went all training camp looking like a wolf, and I get a haircut just because I do TV and my TMZ stuff, and I always got to be somewhere where I don't need to look crazy. So I get a haircut maybe twice a week. I went the whole camp without a haircut, and people was like, man, you look washed. And like something as small as I'm still getting my haircut. I'm just holding on to anything I can. Being able to go to my daughter here in a second and, you know, give flowers and give her a birthday gift and give her a hug. It was going to be a FaceTime situation before. That's one thing. I'm healthy. I'm still in shape. You know what I mean? I'm still mentally ready to fight. And now I just continue. Maybe I'm not going 100% balls to the wall, but maybe I'm still doing my strength and conditioning. I'm still sparring. I'm still doing my boxing. And the smaller things that I wanted to get better at just as a martial artist, because I'm not at my peak yet. There's areas I still can grow, and maybe I'll grow in time frame, and then figure out when I'm gonna fight next. Because I can say whatever I want to, but we all know, guess what? It ain't really fucking up to me. Right. I can say I'm fighting this dude next. And at the end of the day, they're gonna present me with an opponent. I'm gonna have to say yes or no.
Okay, last thing, I'll let you go to your daughter. Last thing, just to be clear, when this all resumes, when normal life resumes, just to be 100% clear, you have now set your sights on Colby. You're moving on from Leon. You're not interested in Gilbert. You want that Colby fight. Is that accurate?
I don't want to say I'll set my sights on Colby because I really want to fuck everybody up, to be honest. I want to beat everybody up because they all talking shit and they all watched me. They all like even Usman. I'm like a mentor to these guys. These guys text me. If I show you my phone log and how far it goes back before the Ultimate Fighter show and when Colby was asking me for advice, he was my training partner. I paid him $500 a week to get his ass whooped. So all these guys that are coming up now are a generation behind me. So at the end of the day, Colby, I think he would get me to the point where I'm just overly motivated to run through his ass and fucking to embarrass him in front of the world because he deserves it. So that motivation, right now I'm at the point where Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, even beating Usman is not going to cement my legacy anymore. When I think about my legacy, I think about fighting Carlos Condit when no one said I was going to beat him, when nobody said I was going to get in the fight. I think about fighting fucking Robbie Lawler after being out of 18 months with Johnny Hendricks going down the drain and all this other stuff, and he was a fighter of the year back-to-back, the boogeyman, and I fucked him up in 47 seconds. That's my legacy, knocking out Koscheck, and nobody had ever put him out to sleep like that before in his career. Think even the losses, the way I lost to Nate Marquardt, you know what I mean? Fighting in a war like that when everybody thought I was just a wrestler, or fighting, you know, Jordan Meehan when nobody knew who he was, but he was in his prime. The same thing with Tarek Safady. These are the fights that, when I look back in my career, these are things that are going to mean more to me than beating Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards should want to fight me. He even said it himself. He used to look at me like, oh, I was scared I probably would lose to him. Now he thinks he's a little bit more mature that he may be able to beat me now. Gilbert Burns, he should want to fight me now. He's not even a real welterweight. He's a lightweight that, you know, probably is a tweener that's having issues making weight, and this is an easier flow for him. He should want to fight me. Colby spent 1 year talking about me. Before he did that, remember he was fighting on Fight Pass in Asia, not even Fight Pass in the U.S. He was fighting on Fight. You fans, do your research. Go look at the fight history. He was fighting on Fight Pass in Asia only, and then he got his first fight against Damian Maia that was nationally televised. And he spoke about me the entire time to try to get his clout up. Like, they got to use my name. You can't have a Fox, you can't have an ESPN sportcast when they're talking about the division and Joe Rogan or John Anik or Dominic Cruz. They have to mention me. When I beat up on Stephen Thompson twice, and everybody thought, oh, you so bored, you could do something different, until you see Luke fight him. You see these other guys fight him. Now they have to say, damn, now we see why Tyron did what he did. So when you think about this sport, there's no way you can mention this division without mentioning me. These guys need me. I don't need them. Now, if you're talking about me fighting a Nate or Nick, give them their props. I would boost off of fighting them. If you talk about me fighting a Conor McGregor, I would boost off of, if you talk about me fighting Georges St. Pierre, those are fighters that their name and their recognition and their star power and what they've done to the sport and for the sport, I would boost my name from a victory over them. Don't no other fucking welterweight in the division have that kind of sting. So they need to all just sit back. They're all going to get whooped one by one. And whenever your number come up, just show up and take your ass whooping like a man.
Tyron, thanks, my man. I appreciate it. Happy birthday to your daughter.
Thank you, my man.
All right, there he is.
All right.
Tyron Woodley stopping by. Great stuff there from him. And yes, I've seen Gilbert Burns in the comments blowing it up. Gilbert, do me a favor. Go ask your manager for permission to come on this show, and then I'd love to have you on. But I need you to get that permission slip from your guy, because, you know, I'm not looking for any negativity here. All right. So do me a favor. Go ask for permission from your manager. Go ask for permission from him, and then we'll gladly get you on here, my man. All right. Do me a favor. Let's get Chris Weidman up in here. In a matter of seconds, we're going to be joined by Long Island's finest, Chris Weidman. Chris, I'm sorry for taking so long. I'm sorry for taking so long there. Woodley was fired up.
Yeah, Woodley's definitely fired up, man. I'm hearing him. I don't know if I could bring that fire.
Sorry for getting to you a little late, but good to talk to you, my man. So, like I said, I just teased this. You have a crazy connection to how, I don't want to say how all this started, but really here in America, how all this kind of ignited. It was the Jazz Thunder game last Wednesday, a week ago tonight in Oklahoma City. We find out seconds before the game that Rudy Gobert, the center for the Jazz, tested positive. Everything gets called up. And really, that's kind of where the dominoes start to fall here in America. You were at the game, Chris? Is that true?
I was at the inception of this whole coronavirus thing, at least in the United States. Yeah, I was out in Oklahoma City doing some press and media to kind of get my fight going for my fight May 2nd with Hermanson. And one of the last things we had to do was go to the Oklahoma City Thunder game. So we were hanging out in the crowd and relaxing. We were watching them warm up. And then out of nowhere, they just got pulled off the court. The players left the court. You know, the whole place was packed out. And about 5 minutes later, they made an announcement saying that the event's going to be postponed until the NBA gives any further notice. And so we were kind of just sitting there. And they just kept doing the halftime show over and over again. You know, the cheerleaders came out, they did their dances, little girls came out, did their dances, and we were just waiting. And about like 35, 40 minutes later, they went back and made another announcement saying, hey, the game is no longer happening and it's postponed to a later date, and we apologize and please exit safely. And so there were some people who started panicking. They didn't know if it was because of the coronavirus or not. No one really knew. And then everyone was on social media, and I guess it started kind of coming through as people were walking out. You could kind of see the panic on some people's faces, and it was definitely crazy. There's more people upset that the game wasn't happening, and people were there for special occasions, and they spent the whole night getting ready for it, and it didn't happen. So and then I had to fly home the next morning. And even flying there to begin with, that was like 2 days prior to that. I was, definitely very cautious. I had my hand sanitizer with me. I was sanitizing up like crazy, sanitizing my seat on the airplane. But it was, it's crazy. And then since then, I've been pretty much quarantined. Since I got home, I've been in isolation at my house. My wife pretty much, as soon as I got home, my wife, my clothes came off. She basically burned everything. And hang on one second, my light just went out.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know what just happened.
Are you in the famous Weidman basement there, your home gym?
Yes, I am.
I've seen it before.
This is where I'm working out now. This is it. I'm
So
working out, but I'm ready, getting ready to go for this fight, but it's not the ideal situation.
sure, and I'll get to that in a second, but I'm just curious. So when you came home, you actually had to be away from your wife and kids for what, 48 hours? Your wife wanted
Yeah,
nothing to do with you.
yeah. I went and I'm blessed enough that we have a guest room, and I have my basement. She just, my kids and my wife, went nowhere near my basement or my guest room, and I just stayed in there and hung out for 48 hours, and it's the best time of my life, to be honest.
Are you okay now? You're good. You feel okay?
I'm good. I mean, we're still in isolation, but now I'm with my family and have any symptoms. So it was good enough for my wife to let me back in the house. And now I'm just, hanging out with the family all day long and trying to train still in the house. And that's it. Trying to do the right thing.
I saw that Law MMA is closed, right? Indefinitely?
Yeah, our gym is closed. We closed it for a week. And then we're probably going to have to close it for 2 weeks. We didn't make that announcement yet, but that's kind of looking like what most of the gyms are doing. So we got to make another announcement on that. We're going to do some videos. I started doing some videos today. We're going to start posting some stuff. This is a crazy time we're living in, huh?
Yeah. And as far as like training, like you could go on the treadmill or you can lift weights, push-ups, but like actual MMA fight training, how do you do that? You have a fight coming up in a little over a month and a half.
Doing some strength training, strength coaches sending me some different workouts, just kind of do on my own. I am hitting the bag. I'm going to start doing some stuff with this guy. Say hi, CJ.
Where's CJ at?
Right
My
here.
man CJ, look at this guy, superstar, future champ right there.
He's going to be my wrestling partner, which, honestly, he's better than most of the guys I train with anyway. So
Hold the mitts for you?
He's going to hold mitts for me, too. I'm going to put up some videos. I'm going to become a YouTube star. Well, we're going to become YouTube stars doing videos together during this time. So my daughter started filming all the food I was eating today and the vitamins I'm taking. I'm trying to give all my tricks out while everyone's staying at home, doing the right thing, staying isolated from everybody. So, there should be some videos coming out soon.
So your fight is scheduled for May 2nd. What do you think right now in your heart of hearts? Like, I know you're trying to remain positive, but I mean, sports postponed indefinitely. Do you think this fight happens? Are you feeling like it's going to happen? What are you thinking?
I got to imagine it's happening in my head, for training purposes, but it's a tough one to believe at this point. Hermanson, he's in Europe, so the chance of him getting out here in the next, what is it, like 6 weeks out at this point, is probably slim. I don't know how much this is going to change. Nobody knows. I spoke to the UFC. I talked to Maynard. He has no idea what's going on. I don't know if the 3 fights that were canceled, the 3 fight cards that were canceled, I don't know if those guys are going to get pushed on to my card and take over that card, and then, I get pushed to a later date. I don't know what the UFC plans on doing. I don't think they know what they're going to do yet. So, it's just everything's kind of up in the air right now, and I just got to stay training, stay healthy, stay positive, and that's it.
Could I ask you this? Because your situation reminds me a lot of mine. You are a father of 3 young children. Our kids are around the same age. I find this virtual learning thing that they're doing, like, this is a lot of pressure. I'm not a teacher. I have a lot of respect for teachers. In fact, my respect for teachers has now grown exponentially. This is a tough job to keep them, but I have my own work to do, and they're giving us all this homework. How are you keeping things sane at home and your children from not like beating each other up and not sitting in front of the TV? Any tips for parents, Chris Weidman? Can you enlighten us?
Honestly, I'm blessed to have an amazing wife who is super smart and such a good mom, and we're kind of like the yin and the yang. I'm more laid back with things, and she's super anal about things. So she's been making like a schedule, and the kids get up, they got to do certain things throughout the day, and she pulls me up as well. So it's I just think keeping a schedule, not staying up all night long and playing video games or watching movies and TV, getting to bed on time, waking up early, and doing stuff to focus on school, time for reading. Like, they just got done reading for a half an hour. I was taking my kid, I taught my 4-year-old how to clean up dog poop in the backyard. I just kind of doing things with I guess as much as I can. But again, like you're saying, like, I got to work too. I got to do things. And so my wife ends up watching the kids all day long. and it gets stressful. So as much time, if I'm working for a certain amount of time, I try to make it upstairs and do things with the kids as well. So it's basically like I'm hanging out at home with my kids all day long, and every once in a while I'm like, all right, I need some time by myself. Leave me alone. I'm going downstairs working out, or I'm doing some stock trading or whatever it is. I'm just keeping busy.
One last thing for you, Chris, because I haven't talked to you since they announced this fight against Jack Hermanson. Ultimately, why did you decide to go back down to 185?
Well, I lost in the first round at 205 in my debut, and kind of just going with where I probably have the most advantages. I do think I could be right up there with all the 205 pounders, and I do think I had the potential to beat any of them. But I lost my first fight, and I just figured, you know what, let me just go where I'm comfortable to try to, make sure I get this W and give myself the most advantages as possible. And size and strength is important, and I wouldn't have as much of an advantage up at 205 with that. So I'm not closing the door on 205 completely, but at this point I'm going to go down to middleweight, and my weight's good, so it shouldn't be that bad.
All right. Be safe, my man. Thank you for doing this. I can't believe you were at that game. That was crazy when I saw that on your Instagram. I'm sure that's an experience that you will never forget, but I'm glad that you are okay, and hope the best for your family, and that, obviously this fight actually happens on May 2nd or shortly thereafter. So we'll keep positive thoughts. Thank you so much.
Hey, let me just make an announcement to all you guys out there. Take this thing serious. Do the right thing. They're saying that not that I'm a doctor or anything, so you could just roll your eyes at everything I say right now. But they're saying the biggest carriers are 19 to 30-year-olds because everyone just everyone wants to just keep going outside and doing their thing. But you guys are causing more of an issue. So stay inside, quarantine, listen to what the government's telling you, and stay safe.
Amen. Thank you, Chris.
All right.
My best to the Weidmans. Yes, there he is, Chris Weidman, the former UFC middleweight champion, and CJ, the future UFC middleweight champion. Let's go, CJ. Let's go.
We're gonna stick to wrestling.
All right, fine. Wrestling. No getting punched in the head. Respect.
Exactly.
Good people over there on Long Island. That's my guy, Chris Weidman. Going back down to 185 pounds. All you have to do is press the X there, Chris. You see the little X on the top right?
I'm gonna stay out here forever and just keep looking. All right, later. Bye-bye.
Okay, Chris. There you go. What just happened there? So if someone calls me in the middle of this, I never thought of that. What happens? That was my sister calling me. Does it still go on? I think we're still live. Yes, we are. By the way, a lot of you asking about the status of Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson. They are still working on making that fight on April 18th. And right now it seems like the United States isn't going to happen. The New York State Athletic Commission has said that they are not going to hold the event on April 18th, unfortunately, in Brooklyn. So that's obviously a bummer, but expected. But they are looking at options overseas, and perhaps in Asia, perhaps in the Middle East. They are looking at options. One wonders about the Middle East and if Tony Ferguson would take that, because that would obviously be a big advantage for Khabib. He's royalty over there, right? He fought in Abu Dhabi, but they are looking at options, and they are hell bent on putting on this fight. There's a lot of questions surrounding, the making of the fight, though. Would it just be one fight in some undisclosed location? Would they take the whole card? If so, how would they get the card there? And how would they fly them out? And would they fly out the corners? Would they fly out their families? Would it be in an empty location? What time of the day would it be if it's overseas? All kinds of questions that, honestly, unless they know and they're not telling anyone, unless they know, they don't know, because everyone that I've talked to has said they don't know yet, but they are working. And there's another thing that isn't being brought up. Like, if you can't go to the gym and work out and train for this fight, are we getting the best Tony Ferguson and the best Khabib Nurmagomedov? If they can't go out and get training partners to help them prepare for this fight, they can't go to the gym to prepare for this fight, then, is that the kind of fight that we want? Is that the best kind of fight that we want? You know what I mean? Like, I want to see the best Ferguson and the best Khabib. And if they can't train, should we just postpone this? I don't know. I'm just bringing that up. Gilbert Burns, I'd love to talk to you. Where are you at? Yes, unless they know, they don't know. Where are you at, Gilbert? Where are you at? I've seen a bunch of people in there. Jared Cannonier I saw earlier. Who else did I see? I saw Gilbert. Trust me, I saw all the messages, but I wanted to give respect to Mr. Woodley. Was there anyone else? I saw Near Crick blowing me up in the text messages. So like I said, later on today, we're going to do a podcast. So I know a lot of you have been asking for the podcast. We'll have a podcast up on the podcast feed. So stay tuned for that. That will be later on today. And we're also going to be taping an Ariel and the Bad Guy with Chel P. That will probably be out in the next couple of days, I'm told. So we'll see what happens. Oh, let's get the Killer Gorilla up in here. Jared Cannonier, come on down. You're the next guest on the Helwani Show Instagram live here on ESPN MMA. I am, Tessa. I am. Oh, where's he at? The Killer Gorilla. Woo.
Here I be. What up, man?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm taking my hair out right now.
Why are you taking it out? I like the hair.
Well, I've had it in for a while. I had it in for like, here, let me fix this phone.
So I can
I
see
had
you
it in
properly.
for like 2 weeks now.
And that's it? You had enough?
Yeah, I'm going to let my hair relax and go back to its natural state and let it relax.
Okay. How are you feeling? Did you get surgery on your pec?
I did.
What happened? Tell us what happened.
How'd I get the injury?
Yeah, how'd you get the injury? Because I remember talking to you in Houston, and you seemed good to go, and then we find out that you were hurt.
It happened in Houston, man. It happened the day of the fight, actually. That morning,
Wow.
I was in the mat room trying to get some work in because I had a fight coming up. What we was trying to get a fight to come up,
Right.
and I was in there. I was training with Ben doing some jiu-jitsu, and I was just passing his guard, and I did pass his guard, but as I went to get strong and collect him up into side control, contracting that pec that was already extended, it just tore on me. So
Wow.
I've done that a million times, and it's the first time the pec ever, my pec tore me. So freak accident. I can't believe it happened, but it did. So I'm on the road to recovery, though. I think this is what is it week 4?
Okay.
Yeah, week 4 post surgery, and this is my second week into physical therapy. Or is
Did it hurt?
I can't remember.
Did it hurt when it happened?
Did it hurt? Well, it feel good. It wasn't too comfortable,
Okay.
but as far as like the pain level, it wasn't really painful. Excruciatingly painful. It was very uncomfortable. So I felt it. I saw it. I felt it, and when it happened.
Oh man!
I thought it was a shoulder. Yep, I thought it was a shoulder, and I thought it was a shoulder because it's right there. So
Yeah.
I knew, but I had dislocated the shoulder before, and I felt it a little bit higher in the shoulder, in the joint area up here, and that's where I had surgery before. But I felt it right here in front, and then as I looked at it, I saw my head had, I guess, swelled up. It looked like a little boobie I had there. So
Wow.
I knew it was the pain when it happened.
Wow, that is okay. So what are they saying as far as when you could return? Best case scenario.
Typically it's 5 to 6 months.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
The fall,
So
probably. If all goes well.
The doctor said he'll clear me to fight after 5 months. Considering I do everything right.
By the way, did you watch that title fight, Israel Adesanya and Yoel Romero? What did you think of it?
I was right there, man.
What did you think? What did you think of that fight?
I thought it was an interesting affair. Right?
That's a nice way to put it.
I thought it definitely didn't meet up to a lot of fans' expectations. As far as my expectations, I don't put expectations on a fight because I know how fights can go. They can go any which way. They weren't exciting to a lot of people, but I was excited to see how those guys reacted to each other. You know what I'm saying? I was very well engaged into how they were trying to employ their game plan and how they reacted to I was just watching the fight. You know what I'm saying? So
who do you think won?
I learned a lot from watching it. And, everybody was mad. I think I was entertained as well, but I have a vested interest. So it was fun to watch.
Who do you think won?
Well, I said this before. I knew somebody was going to ask me this question, but I'll say this. I say Izzy did enough to retain his title.
Mm.
And at the same time, Yoel didn't do much at all to take the title. So,
Right. All
and
right.
that's just it. You know, in that, you know, Wizzy had, you know, Izzy won due to the judges giving him the decision.
If all
But
goes well,
I thought it was a good fight, you know.
in a perfect world, if normal life resumes in the fall, who do you want that first opponent to be?
Whoever gets me the title shot, either the title shot or whoever gives me that shot next. So whoever, you know what I'm saying? It can be anybody. Now, with everybody's, you know, had their, you know, got the rocks off with everybody having their fights and stuff, by the time I get back, everybody should be available. So, you know what I'm saying? Who's in front of me? That's your answer.
Okay. And by the way, very, very uncertain, unhealthy times. Any good crystals that you would suggest to ward off viruses, infections, bad mojo? Anything we turn to you, Jared Cannonier. Anything you could tell us, please help us.
All right, let me look at here. Let me see what I have.
Something. I need something.
As
Positivity.
far as viruses, I'm not. As far as viruses specifically, I don't know. As far as I don't know.
What? You got nothing? Now I'm really depressed. Nothing.
Well, hey, how about this? As far as sitting at home and not, you know, self-isolation, I think everybody should have some grounding stones, you know, because people always want to get up and go and do something, and they're never content with where they're at. They're never present with where they're at the moment and able to absorb what's going on at the moment. They always want to go to the next thing and be distracted. So get some grounding stones. Black tourmaline right here I have. Let me see if you can see that. Oh, it's too close. Some black will be good. This big piece is pretty fragile. I don't like to pick it up too much.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
That's a nice raw piece right there. I also have some black tourmaline points.
Okay. Keeps us grounded, right?
Tourmaline. Some shungite, I think is good. Grounding stone, shungite, obsidian. What is this? Where we go? Here we go. This is a shungite pyramid. I got a cube over there.
Damn.
And of course, I have jewelry. Some grounding stones. So black. They're usually black and dark in pigment. Tourmaline again is still fragile, so I would go with some shungite. You know, that's more resilient. So there you go.
All right, great advice.
That and of course, powderite to absorb some negativity. You know, if we need some luck in these times, we definitely need some good fortune in these times. So pyrite, I'm always an advocate for pyrite. I love pyrite. I still play around with pyrite.
All right, I love it. Thank you for this, Jared. All the best to you and your family. Stay safe out there. Stay healthy. Stay positive. That was great advice at the end, and I hope that you recover quickly, my man. Thank you so much, and good luck with the hair.
Thank you. It's going to take some time. I'm with one arm down. I'm trying to get this thing done.
Well, so, I appreciate you watching us while you pass the time over there doing the hair thing.
You're welcome. Thank you. I saw the notification up. I was like, okay, let's see what's going on. Actually, I was watching Woodley's interview. He started saying some cool stuff, man, talking about how people, you know, get with the gimmicks and, you know what I'm saying? And I like that energy, you know what I'm saying? The dude, basically what he was saying is authentic, you know what I'm saying? Don't play into the games or do whatever you got to do. I personally say do what you got to do to get your bag, you know what I'm saying? As long as it's not at anybody else's expense. So unfortunately, we see that it is at other people's expense, the tactics that people employ. And I agree with Woodley in that regard. So hats off to that man for articulating it the way he did. It got me kind of fired up the way he was talking there. So yeah, that's about it.
All right. Thank you, Jared. All the best to you. Appreciate you joining us. You just press the X over there, top right, and you'll be on your way, my man.
My X or yours?
Yours.
I got two of them. Leave.
Boom. There he is, the killer gorilla. Yes, he got a lot of people fired up, Tyron Woodley. He also got Gilbert Burns fired up, who I guess has gone missing. You know, it would have been nice to hear from him here, but he's gone missing. I'm drinking my my daughter's pink water bottle here. But I guess he's gone missing. What is that? Is that the what's his name? Kermit the Frog, right? Anyway, I've seen a lot of people pop in. Much love to you all. In a matter of seconds, I'll probably wrap this bad boy up. Unless you guys want me to keep going, I'll be happy to keep going. By the way, one of my favorite things that I have in my room here, this is sort of like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. This was made by, who was this made by? I don't know who made this. Was this Robert Pearson? I don't know who made it. Someone made it for me. Back in the day, these were the shoes that I wore for the Rampage Jackson Glover Teixeira fight in Chicago. And this is the most amazing thing about this. This is made from melted crayon. Melted crayon. I don't know if you could tell. See that? That's melted crayon. These are shoes that I wore, Adidas shoes that I wore with the wings on them. Good fun. And some nice man made this for me. Oh, Sam Eguy, New York Rick is telling me? Is it Sam Eguy? I don't remember that name, but anyway, if it is Sam Eguy, thank you very much for this. It's one of my favorite things that anyone has ever given me. If you've ever seen the show, I usually have a thing on the desk in a frame of my big nose. Same guy. Thank you, New York Rick. Wait, oh, same guy. Sam Eguy. No, the same guy. Wait, but what's his name? I don't know. I don't know the guy's name. What's his name? Give me the guy's name so I can give him a proper shout out here, because now I feel really bad. Anyway, he made this for me, and he also made me the big nose in the frame. And he did it via, look at that, melted crayon. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Oh, New York Rick says he doesn't know his name. Gosh, he sent it to me, but I think you got it back in the day. You're the one who got it. Anyway, got a lot of books here. Look at all these books that I have here. I've got Ali Inoki by Josh Gross. I got George St. Pierre's book. I got Up, Up, and Away. I got John Kavanagh's book. I got Champion of the World. Chad Dundas. Michael Bisping's book, which is a nice one. I've got, what's this? The Professor in the Cage. Dream Team book is a great one. I got 2 George St. Pierre books, apparently. Maybe I should give one to some of you guys. No Holds Barred book here. Oh, Lucas W. That's his name. Lucas W. 37. That's the guy. Wait, was it Gilbert Burns? No, Gilbert Burns still looking for his permission slip. Where's the permit? Maybe it'll come soon. Yes, Lucas W. 37. That's the name of the guy who made this. Boom Kelleher, give us some rap. Give us some rap lyrics. Spit some bars for us. Do you have something for us, Boom Kelleher? Brian Boom Kelleher, not Broom Kelleher, Brian Kelleher. It's hard to look at this and to look at that and to talk to all of you. So I saw Brian Kelleher's name pop up. Well, New York Rick just told me his name popped up. Brian Boom Kelleher, do you have a song for us this afternoon? Do you have lyrics for us in these trying times, these depressing times, these anxious times? Do you have anything for us? What's happening here? When I call people, they disappear. What is happening? And by the way, you're noticing everyone doing these live chats now, and I know you all are paying attention, but remember who did it first. The real bad guy did it first. Remember that. What am I going to do about the haircut? What am I going to do? All right, Brian, you're leaving me hanging here. It's happening. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I saw Art Jones before as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Sorry, Brian. You were there. I called you out. Julian Marquez, are you there? You wanted in. This is your last chance, Julian. You tweeted me. Last chance for you, Mr. Julian. Anyone? We'll do this tomorrow. I love you all. Tomorrow, we're going to have a fighter. I already know this, who was involved in an incredible fight very recently. That's your hint. Tomorrow, Thursday. By the way, I'm losing track of all the days. I woke up today thinking it was Thursday. I'm losing track of everything. Tomorrow, Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. GMT until you guys change the clocks. we will have a fighter who was involved in one of the all-time great fights very recently. And oh, by the way, Saturday, beginning at, I believe, 12 p.m. Eastern, ESPN is going to be airing 11 straight hours of classic UFC fights. We're talking Gus Jones 1. We're talking Connor, Nate 1 and 2. We're talking Lawler, McDonald 2. We're talking Masvidal Diaz, Adesanya Gaslam, a whole bunch of great guys. So that will be coming out on Great Fights as well. Saturday, 11 straight hours. Much love. I'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. GMT. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye now.